Hi, my name is Gail, and I have a son. My son is 29 years old. Although he is a college graduate, he is a young adult pastor, and he works for a corporation. Each and every day of his life, I stand concerned and worried about his well-being. My son is the kind of young man who will say yes, sir, and no, sir. Yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am. He's the kind of son that will open doors for ladies and for the elderly and for anyone needing assistance. He is very polite. He is very intelligent. He is very knowledgeable. And yet, I am still concerned about his day-to-day well-being. Why, you may ask? Not too long ago, my son was driving in his vehicle, which happens to be a year 2000 Lexus, in a suburban area within Central Ohio. And an officer of the law pulled him over. My son asked the officer, "Why have you pulled me aside?" The officer then said, "License and registration." As my son was going to pull out his information, my son asked once again, "Why did you pull me over?" I am in a 35 mile per hour zone. I was driving only 32. I did not turn left or right. I have been on this road for a little while. Please tell me why, officer, did you make the decision to pull me over? He handed the officer his license and his registration. The officer checked on his computer and saw that he had a great driving record. And he also had to realize that his father, an attorney for the city, also lived in that particular neighborhood. The officer knocked on my son's window and said, "Carry on, you may go." And although my son received his license and registration from the officer, my son asked once again, "I would still like to know, why did you pull me over?" The officer never answered. My son drove off, but yet we still wonder if he was in another neighborhood, if he was out of town, or if this officer was up to no good. Where would my son be today? I'm a concerned mom of a son. And it's time for us to really come together and gain a greater understanding of what's really going on and raise our voices as concerned moms of sons.